Question 1. You're waiting to come out of a side road. Why should you look carefully for motorcycles? B. Motorcycles can easily be hidden behind obstructions. Explanation. If you're waiting to emerge from a side road, look carefully for motorcycles. They can be difficult to see. Be especially careful if there are parked vehicles or other obstructions restricting your view. Question 2. Which vehicles should you allow extra room as you overtake them? B. Bicycle. Explanation. Don't pass cyclists too closely as they may need to veer around a pothole, drain, or other hazard. Be buffeted by side wind. Always leave as much room as you would for a car and don't cut in front of them. Question 3. Powered vehicles used by disabled people are small and can be hard to see. What must they display if they're traveling on a dual carriageway? A. Flashing amber beacon. Explanation. Powered vehicles used by disabled people are small and low, making them hard to see on the road. They also travel very slowly. On an unrestricted dual carriageway, they must display a flashing amber beacon to warn other road users of their presence. Question 4. You're driving in a slow-moving queue of traffic. What should you do just before changing lane? C. Look for motorcyclists filtering through the traffic. Explanation. In queuing traffic, motorcyclists could be passing you on either side. Use your mirrors and check your blind area before changing lanes or changing direction. Question 5. Who may use Q10 crossings? A. Cyclists and Pedestrians. Explanation. There are some crossings where cycle routes lead cyclists to cross at the same place as pedestrians. Always look out for cyclists as they're likely to be approaching faster than pedestrians. Question 6. You've just passed your driving test. How can you reduce your risk of being involved in a collision? C. By never going over 40 miles per hour. Explanation. New drivers and riders are often involved in a collision or incident early in their driving career. Due to a lack of experience, they may not react to hazards appropriately. Approved training courses are offered by driver and rider training schools for people who have passed their test but want extra training. Question 7. You're about to reverse into a side road. What should you do if a pedestrian is waiting to cross behind your car? A. Give way to the pedestrian. Explanation. If you need to reverse into a side road, try to find a place that's free from traffic and pedestrians. Look all around before and during the maneuver. Stop and give way to any pedestrians who want to cross behind you. Avoid waving them across, sounding the horn, flashing your lights, or giving any signals that could mislead them and create a dangerous situation. Question 8. What should you do when you're following a motorcyclist along a road that has a poor surface? B. Allow extra room in case they swerve to avoid potholes. Explanation. To avoid being unbalanced, a motorcyclist might swerve to avoid potholes and bumps in the road. Be prepared for this and allow them extra space. Question 9. What should you do if you want to turn left at a junction where pedestrians have started to cross? Give way to them. Explanation. When you're turning into a side road, pedestrians who are crossing have priority. You should wait to allow them to finish crossing safely. Be patient if they're slow or unsteady. Don't try to rush them by sounding your horn, flashing your lights, revving your engine, or giving any other inappropriate signal. Question 10. Why should you allow extra room while overtaking a motorcyclist on a windy day? C. The rider may be blown in front of you. Explanation. If you're driving in high winds, be aware that the conditions might make a motorcyclist or swerve or wobble. Take this into consideration if you're following or wish to overtake a two-wheeled vehicle. Question 11. You see a pedestrian carrying a white stick that also has a red band. What does this mean? A. They're deaf and blind. Explanation. When someone is deaf as well as blind, they may carry a white stick with a red reflective band or bands. They may not be aware that you're approaching and they may not be able to hear anything. So, for example, your horn would be ineffective as a warning to them. Question 12. You're turning right from a main road into a side road. There's no oncoming traffic. What should you do if pedestrians are standing on the pavement waiting to cross the side road? B. Wait and give way to the pedestrians. Explanation. You should give way to pedestrians crossing or waiting to cross the road into which or from which you're turning. Be patient if they're cautious and take their time checking that it's safe before they step into the road. Question 13. How should you overtake horse riders? A. Drive slowly and leave plenty of room. Explanation. When you decide to overtake a horse rider, make sure you can do so safely before you move out. Leave them plenty of room and pass slowly. Passing too close could startle the horse and unseat the rider. Question 14. A horse rider is in the left-hand lane approaching a roundabout. Where should you expect the rider to go? D. In any direction. Explanation. Horses and their riders move more slowly than other road users. They might not have time to cut across heavy traffic to take up a position in the right-hand lane. For this reason, a horse and rider may approach a roundabout in the left-hand lane even though they're turning right. Question 15. Why should you check for motorcyclists just before turning right into a side road? A. They may be overtaking on your right. Explanation. Never attempt to change direction to the right without first checking your right-hand mirror and blind spot. A motorcyclist might not have seen your signal and could be hidden by other traffic. This observation should become a matter of routine. Question 16. You're traveling on a narrow section of road. What should you do if a horse rider ahead is riding in the center of the lane? C. Stay behind and allow them to ride in this position. Explanation. On narrow sections of road, horse riders may ride in the center of the lane. This is for their own safety, as it makes them more visible. You should be patient and only pass when it's safe to do so. Question 17. You're about to overtake a cyclist on a road that has a 30 miles per hour speed limit. How much room should you leave them as you overtake? D. At least as much room as you would if you were overtaking a car. Explanation. You should leave cyclists at least as much room as you would if you were overtaking a car. Leave them more room if you're overtaking at speeds over 30 miles per hour. Question 18. You're following a cyclist. What should you do when you wish to turn left a short distance ahead? B. Hold back until the cyclist has passed the junction. Explanation. Make allowances for cyclists and give them plenty of room. Don't overtake and then immediately turn left. Be patient and turn behind them when they've passed the junction. Question 19. Where would you see this sign? B. On a school bus. Explanation. School buses can stop to pick up or drop off schoolchildren at places that aren't designated bus stops. Watch out for children crossing the road to catch the bus or from the far side of the bus if they've just been dropped off. Question 20. You're approaching a roundabout. What should you do if a cyclist ahead is signaling to turn right? A. Give the cyclist plenty of room. Explanation. If you're following a cyclist who's signaling to turn right at a roundabout, leave plenty of room. Give them space and time to get into the correct lane. Question 21. Which road users are most difficult to see when you're reversing your car? A. Children. Explanation. It may not be possible to see a small child through the rear windscreen of your vehicle. Be aware of this before you reverse. If there are children about, get out and check that it's clear before reversing. Question 22. Why do motorcyclists often look round over their right shoulder just before turning right? C. To check for traffic in their blind area. Explanation. When you see a motorcyclist take a glance over their shoulder, they're probably about to change direction. Recognizing a clue like this helps you to anticipate their next action. This can improve road safety for you and others. Question 23. As you approach a pelican crossing, the lights change to green. What should you do if older people are still crossing? A. Wait patiently while they cross. Explanation. If the lights turn to green, wait for any pedestrians to clear the crossing. Allow them to finish crossing the road in their own time, and don't try to hurry them by revving your engine. Question 24. The road outside this school is marked with yellow zigzag lines. What do these lines mean? B. You shouldn't wait or park your vehicle here. Explanation. Parking here would block other road users' view of the school entrance and would endanger the lives of children on their way to and from school. Question 25. What should you do when you see these horse riders in front? C. Slow down and be ready to stop. Explanation. Be particularly careful when approaching horse riders. Slow down and be prepared to stop. Always pass wide and slowly, and look out for signals given by the riders. Horses are unpredictable. Always treat them as potential hazards and take great care when passing them. Question 26. Where should you take particular care to look for motorcyclists and cyclists? C. At junctions. Explanation. Motorcyclists and cyclists are often more difficult to see at junctions. They're easily hidden from view, and you may not be able to see them approaching a junction if your view is partially blocked, for example, by other traffic. Question 27. Why should you look carefully for motorcyclists and cyclists at junctions? B. They're harder to see. Explanation. Cyclists and motorcyclists are smaller than other vehicles and so are more difficult to see. They can easily be hidden from your view by cars parked near a junction. Question 28. What does this sign mean? C. With flow cycle lane. Explanation. Usually, a picture of a cycle will also be painted on the road, and sometimes the lane will have a different colored surface. Leave these areas clear for cyclists and don't pass too closely when you overtake. Question 29. You're driving past a line of parked cars. What should you do if a ball bounces out into the road ahead? B. Slow down and be prepared to stop for children. Explanation. Beware of children playing in the street and running out into the road. If a ball bounces out from the pavement, slow down and be prepared to stop. Don't encourage anyone to retrieve it. Other road users may not see your signal, and you might lead a child into a dangerous situation. Question 30. You see a horse rider as you approach a roundabout. What should you do if they're signaling right but keeping well to the left? A. Stay well back. Explanation. Allow the horse rider to enter and exit the roundabout in their own time. They may feel safer keeping to the left all the way around the roundabout. Don't get up close behind or alongside them, because that would probably upset the horse and create a dangerous situation. Question 31. You're driving in town. Why should you be careful if there's a bus at a bus stop on the other side of the road? C. Pedestrians might come from behind the bus. Explanation. If you see a bus ahead, watch out for pedestrians. They might not be able to see you if they're behind the bus. Question 32. Why should these road markings be kept clear? A. To allow children to see and be seen when they're crossing the road. Explanation. The markings are there to show that the area should be kept clear. This is to allow an unrestricted view for approaching drivers and riders, children wanting to cross the road. Question 33. What does it mean when a moving vehicle is showing a flashing amber beacon? D. The vehicle is slow moving. Explanation. Different colored beacons warn of different types of vehicle needing special attention. Blue beacons are used on emergency vehicles that need priority. Green beacons are found on doctors' cars. Amber beacons generally denote slower moving vehicles, which are often large. These vehicles are usually involved in road maintenance or local amenities and make frequent stops. Question 34. You're traveling behind a moped. What should you do if you want to turn left a short distance ahead? A. Stay behind until the moped has passed the junction. Explanation. Passing the moped and turning into the junction could mean that you cut across the front of the rider. This might force them to slow down, stop, or even lose control. Stay behind the moped until it has passed the junction, and then you can turn without affecting the rider. Question 35. What action should you take when you see flashing amber lights under a school warning sign? D. Reduce speed until you're clear of the area. Explanation. The flashing amber lights are switched on to warn you that children may be crossing near a school. Slow down and take extra care, as you may have to stop. Question 36. What should you do when you're passing loose sheep on the road? C. Go very slowly. Explanation. Slow down and be ready to stop if you see animals in the road ahead. Animals are easily frightened by noise and vehicles passing too close to them. Stop if you're signaled to do so by the person in charge. Question 37. You're on a country road. What should you expect to see coming towards you on your side of the road? B. Pedestrians. Explanation. On a quiet country road, always be aware that there may be a hazard just around the next bend, such as a slow-moving vehicle or pedestrians. Pedestrians are advised to walk on the right-hand side of the road if there's no pavement, so they may be walking towards you on your side of the road. Question 38. Where would you see this sign? A. On the rear of a school bus or coach. Explanation. Vehicles that are used to carry children to and from school will be traveling at busy times of the day. If you're following a vehicle with this sign, be prepared for it to make frequent stops. It might pick up or set down passengers in places other than normal bus stops. Question 39. You're approaching this roundabout. What should you do when a cyclist is keeping to the left while signaling to turn right? A. Allow them space to turn. Explanation. Cycling in today's heavy traffic can be hazardous. Some cyclists may not feel safe crossing the path of traffic to take up a position in an outside lane. Be aware of this and understand that, although they're in the left-hand lane, the cyclist might be turning right. Question 40. You want to turn right from a junction. What should you do if your view is restricted by parked vehicles? B. Stop, then move forward slowly until you have a clear view. Explanation. If you want to turn right from a junction and your view is restricted, stop. Ease forward until you can see something might be approaching. If you don't know, don't go. Question 41. You're turning left from a main road into a side road. What should you do if there's a pedestrian on the pavement waiting to cross the side road? A. Wait and give way to the pedestrian. Explanation. You should give way to pedestrians crossing or waiting to cross the road into which or from which you're turning. Be patient if they're cautious, and let them check that it's safe from all directions before they step into the road. Do not signal or wave them to cross. Question 42. What's the purpose of these road markings? D. To ensure children can see and be seen when they're crossing the road. Explanation. These markings are found on the road outside schools. Don't stop or park on them, even to set down or pick up children. The markings are there to ensure that drivers, riders, children, and other pedestrians have a clear view of the road in all directions. Question 43. What does this sign mean? A route for pedestrians and cyclists. Explanation. This sign shows a shared route for pedestrians and cyclists. When it ends, the cyclists will be rejoining the main road. Question 44. At night, what does it mean if you see a pedestrian wearing reflective clothing and carrying a bright red light? B. You're approaching an organized walk. Explanation. The people on the walk should be keeping to the left, but don't assume this. Pass carefully, making sure you have time to do so safely. Be aware that the pedestrians have their backs to you and may not know that you're there. Question 45. You're driving towards a zebra crossing. What should you do if a person in a wheelchair is waiting to cross? A. Be prepared to stop. Explanation. You should slow down and be prepared to stop, as you would for an able-bodied person. Don't wave them across, as other traffic may not stop. Question 46. Which is the most vulnerable road user? A. Motorcyclist. Explanation. Pedestrians and riders on two wheels can be harder to see than other road users. Make sure you look for them, especially at junctions. Effective observation coupled with appropriate action can save lives. Question 47. You're approaching a roundabout. What should you do if there are horses being ridden in front of you? B. Give them plenty of room. Explanation. Horse riders often keep to the outside of the roundabout, even if they're turning right. Give them plenty of room and remember that they may have to cross lanes of traffic. Question 48. This junction, controlled by traffic lights, has a marked area between two stop lines. What's this for? A. To allow cyclists to position in front of other traffic. Explanation. These are known as advanced stop lines. When the lights are red, or about to become red, you should stop at the first white line. However, if you've crossed that line as the lights change, you must stop at the second line, even if it means you're in the area reserved for cyclists. Question 49. What should you do if the left-hand pavement is closed due to street repairs? D. Watch out for pedestrians walking in the road. Explanation. Where street repairs have closed off pavements, proceed carefully and slowly, as pedestrians might have to walk in the road. Question 50. What should you do when you see an older person about to cross the road ahead? A. Be careful. They may misjudge your speed. Explanation. Older people may have impaired hearing, vision, concentration, and judgment. They may also walk slowly, and so could take a long time to cross the road. Question 51. Why do motorcyclists wear bright clothing? A. To make them more visible. Explanation. Motorcycles and scooters are generally smaller than other vehicles and can be difficult to see. Wearing bright clothing makes it easier for other road users to see a motorcyclist approaching, especially at junctions. Question 52. What should you do when you're approaching this crossing? D. Prepare to slow down and stop. Explanation: be courteous and prepare to stop. Don't wave people across because this could be dangerous if another vehicle is approaching the crossing. Question 53. You're driving at night. What should you do if you're dazzled by a vehicle behind you? D. Set your mirror to the anti-dazzle position. Explanation: the interior mirror of most vehicles can be set to an anti-dazzle position. You'll still be able to see the lights of the traffic behind you, but the dazzle will be greatly reduced. Question 54. You've driven up to a pelican crossing. What must you do while the amber light is flashing? B. Give way to any pedestrians on the crossing. Explanation: the flashing amber light allows pedestrians already on the crossing to get to the other side before a green light shows to the traffic. Be aware that some pedestrians, such as older people and young children, need longer to cross. Let them do this at their own pace. Question 55. You're about to overtake a cyclist. Why should you leave them as much room as you would give to a car? B. The cyclist might be unsettled if you pass too near them. Explanation: before overtaking, assess the situation. Look well ahead to see whether the cyclist will need to change direction. Be especially aware of a cyclist approaching parked vehicles, as they'll need to alter course. Don't pass too closely or cut in sharply, as this could unsettle the rider. Question 56. What hazard should you be especially aware of if you're turning left into a side road? C. Pedestrians. Explanation: make sure that you've reduced your speed and are in the correct gear for the turn. Look into the road before you turn, and always give way to any pedestrians who are crossing. Question 57. You're at the front of a queue of traffic waiting to turn right into a side road. Why is it important to check your right mirror just before turning? C. To check for overtaking vehicles. Explanation: a motorcyclist could be riding along the outside of the queue. Always check your mirror before turning, as situations behind you can change while you've been waiting to turn. Question 58. Why do motorcyclists use dipped headlights in daylight? A. So that the rider can be seen more easily. Explanation: a motorcycle can be lost from sight behind another vehicle. The use of headlights helps to make it more conspicuous and therefore more easily seen. Question 59. How should you react to inexperienced drivers? C. Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly. Explanation: learners might not have confidence when they first start to drive. Allow them plenty of room and don't react adversely to their hesitation. We all learn from experience, but new drivers will have had less practice in dealing with all the situations that might occur. Question 60. You're following two cyclists as they approach a roundabout in the left-hand lane. Where would you expect the cyclists to go? B. Any direction. Explanation. Cyclists approaching a roundabout in the left-hand lane may be turning right, but may not have been able to get into the correct lane due to heavy traffic. They may also feel safer keeping to the left all the way around the roundabout. Be aware of them and give them plenty of room. Question 61. You want to reverse into a side road. What should you do if you aren't sure that the area behind your car is clear? C. Get out and check. Explanation. If you can't tell whether there's anything behind you, it's always safest to check before reversing. There may be a small child or a low obstruction close behind your car. Question 62. What should you do when you're following a learner driver who stalls at a junction? D. Be patient, as you expect them to make mistakes. Explanation. Learning to drive is a process of practice and experience. Try to understand this and tolerate those who make mistakes while they're learning. Question 63. Which sign means that there may be people walking along the road? D. Explanation. Always check the road signs. Triangular signs are warning signs. They inform you about hazards ahead and help you to anticipate any problems. There are a number of different signs showing pedestrians. Learn the meaning of each one. Question 64. You're driving past parked cars. What should you do if you see a bicycle wheel sticking out between the cars? A. Slow down and be prepared to stop for a cyclist. Explanation. Scan the road as you drive. Try to anticipate hazards by being aware of the places where they're likely to occur. You'll then be able to react in good time. Question 65. Why is a toucan crossing different from a puffin crossing? A. Pedestrians and cyclists can use it together. Explanation. Puffin crossings are for use by pedestrians. Cyclists must dismount and push their bicycle over the crossing. Toucan crossings are shared by pedestrians and cyclists who are permitted to cycle over the crossing. Toucan roadside signals show an icon of a pedestrian and a cyclist together. Question 66. What would you do if you see older people crossing the road ahead? C. Be patient and allow them to cross in their own time. Explanation. Be aware that older people might take a long time to cross the road. They might also be hard of hearing and not hear you approaching. Don't hurry older people across the road by getting too close to them or revving your engine. Question 67. You've stopped at a pelican crossing. What should you do if a disabled person is crossing slowly in front of you and the lights change to green? D. Wait for them to finish crossing. Explanation. At a pelican crossing, the green light means you may proceed as long as the crossing is clear. If someone hasn't finished crossing, be patient and wait for them whether they're disabled or not. Question 68. What does it mean if you see a pedestrian with a dog that has a yellow or burgundy coat? A. The pedestrian is deaf. Explanation. Dogs trained to help deaf people have a yellow or burgundy coat. If you see one, you should take extra care, as the pedestrian may not be aware of vehicles approaching. Question 69. How will a school crossing patrol signal you to stop? B. By displaying a stop sign. Explanation. If a school crossing patrol steps out into the road with a stop sign, you must stop. Don't wave anyone across the road and don't get impatient or rev your engine. Question 70. You want to turn right from a main road into a side road. What should you do just before turning? B. Check for traffic overtaking on your right. Explanation. In some circumstances, your indicators may be difficult to see, and another road user may not realize you're about to turn. A final check in your mirror and blind spot can help you to see an overtaking vehicle so that you can avoid turning across their path. Question 71. What does this sign mean? C. Cycle route ahead. Explanation. More people are cycling today, and cycle routes are being extended in our towns and cities to provide safe cycling routes. Respect the presence of cyclists on the road and give them plenty of room if you need to pass.